I'm back with the fourth video in the series, Introduction to Trade Central Platform. And in this video, we are going to talk about the tags and how you can use tags to effectively get insights about your trades. So let's get started and go to the website tradecentral.in, log in if you have already created an account. If not, just sign up, it's free. Go to dashboard. Okay. So in previous videos, we have talked about dashboard, strategies, portfolios, and in this one, we're going to talk about tags. So tags can be accessed from this left menu. Click on tags, go to all tags. Okay, so let me just kind of talk a bit about like what tags are and how they are used, right? So tags are essentially tags, right? I mean, you must be familiar with tags. You must have seen most of the blogs, videos, and all kind of sites use tags, right? So, so in this case, how do we use tags is when you journal a trade, right? Then if you want to associate any specific detail about the tag, about like, the trade, then you can create a tag for it. I mean, that insight could be good, it could be bad, it could be neutral. For example, um, you record a trade and the trade, let's say, does not go in your favor and you lose money on it, and then you do the analysis and you add your analysis to a general, which we are going to see in future videos how you can do that. And then if you see that there is a common pattern, for example, like, you did something which you made a mistake, let's say that, you which you have made in past as well, then you kind of create a tag for it and associate that tag with this trade. So that tag will basically help you identify, okay, how many times you are repeating that mistake, how frequently, how often do you make that mistake, or how often kind of do you you do something which is actually your strength, right? So that's how tags are used. I mean, I'm going to show you. um, so for example, like, uh, to create a tag, first of all, you just go to my tags and new tag, and then you'll see a type. So as of now, you can see there are three types of tags. So one is a mistake. So as I was telling you, if you are kind of repeating something like, again and over again, a mistake, like, then you can create a mistake tag. Mistake could be anything, like, it could be, for example, exited too early. I mean, the stock started going in your direction, then it reversed, and you panicked and you sold, only to see that, okay, that stock like continued later on. So exited too early, right? So this could be a mistake, right? You can add a tag, and whenever that happens, whenever you do a trade where you make this mistake, then you can associate this tag with that trade. And similarly, you could also have some strengths, right? I mean, something which you are doing right, right? So I mean, you may also want to kind of keep track of those things. So strength could be something like, uh, it could be something like, perfect entry, like, I mean, your entry was not really kind of above or below, like, it was a perfect entry or even a perfect exit, or maybe like, you executed a strategy like, to the T, right? I mean, exactly as you are supposed to take an entry. So I mean, anything like, strengths also you can record here, but tags are more useful when created for mistakes. So you can identify where the problems are, and then you can kind of uh, keep working on removing those things or reducing the number of times you repeat those mistakes, right? And eventually stopping doing it altogether. So if I go back to all tags, you can see there are tags like exited too early, it's a mistake, then long below 200 MA. So I mean, this is like, it depends on your strategies, and I mean, how do you do it? I mean, generally speaking, going long below 200 MA or going short above 200 MA is considered kind of, a bad thing or a wrong thing, right? Because you are trading against a trend, right? Unless you are scalping, of course. So, and then there is a strength, we have perfect exit, and then there is another mistake like did not follow the strategy correctly. There is another late entry mistake, and then over trading is another mistake. So sometimes it happens like, you I mean, like, uh, it's not uncommon for people to kind of become so addicted to trading that they kind of keep doing it over and over again, even when they are, doesn't matter they are winning, losing, or like whatever happens. So, or sometimes it happens like you do revenge trade. So you could also create something like a revenge trade, like you take a trade, it doesn't go in your favor, but you are very kind of convinced that okay, like this is what should happen, that maybe this was just a kind of um, temporary thing, and then I think you'll continue. So you again do a trade in the same stock, right? That is called a revenge trading, which is something you definitely should avoid doing, right? So you can create a tag for revenge trading, and if you do that, just associate that tag with the trade, right? Chasing price is another common thing, a common mistake a lot of people do. They see okay, something is going high, and then you think like okay, it's showing great momentum, let me also get in. But by the time you get in, I think that run is over, and like this starts reversing, and your stop loss is hit, right? So anything like any other mistake, I mean these are just sample mistakes here. I mean you can um, create any kind of tag and then add it here. So now once you, let me also show you briefly. I will not go into detail of how to add journals, because that is a kind of, it has a lot of parameters, and we'll cover it in a separate video. But I can just show you that when you create a new journal, this is where you can select the tags. So it will show you all the tags. Exited too early. You can associate multiple tags, right? I mean, um, over trading or whatever it is. So now this data is stored, and then you can extract the insight about this. So if you go to reports, there is something called tag analysis. If you click on tag analysis, you can see which are the mistakes you are making most number of times, right? So in this case, like in this demo account, we just have like 7, 8, 9, 10 trades, I would say. Then here is one mistake: did not follow the strategy correctly. So this is one mistake I'm doing it the most, and so I need to work on it. Then there is another one called late entry. So I mean, as I said, like there are only a few trades, but once we have dozens of trades here, and you are using tags properly, associating your strengths and mistakes with the tags, you can see this data, and it will show you like okay, which are the patterns, repeated patterns, like which you can work on to improve those, right? So this, that way it will be very useful. And we are also working on some other reports using the tags, where you could get some additional insights, like okay, even when like you can basically generate some reports based on like for example, even though it was a mistake, your trade could have worked, right? So how many times it happened, so maybe like it's not a mistake, I mean by showing those insights. So you can analyze that okay, even though like it shows me I made a mistake 50 times, but even after doing those 50 times mistakes, I still was successful like in 50% of those trades. So you may want to consider okay, maybe it's not really that serious a mistake, right? So maybe I should kind of do it. That's fine. I mean, so those kind of insights, I think we are working on it. Trade Central, as you know, it's a new platform, and so we are working on it. As you can see, there are features like coming soon. Some of them are not there. So, and we'll also talk about some of these things like equity curve, tag analysis. We have just briefly covered here, and holding time analysis, target analysis in the future videos. So yeah, coming back to tax, I think this is how you can use it, and you can get benefited um, to understand how you're trading, what mistakes you are making, what are your strengths, and improve yourself, right? So I guess that's all about this video. This is a kind of very simple thing, and pretty neat feature we feel, and it could be really useful. So we'll see you in the next video, and in the next video we are going to cover journals, which is the main thing, right? So, and that would probably be a longer video than these ones, because it has a lot of parameters that you can use to create and add to journal information, right? So till then, have a great day, have a good weekend, and we'll see you sometime next week.